My ex-wife cheated on me, destroyed our family, and then completely unraveled when the man she left me for did the exact same thing to her. And honestly, if I hadn't lived through this myself, I would have thought it was a badly written drama. I'm 47 years old now. She's 48, and we were married for 20 years. 20 years where I genuinely believed I was building a life with my partner, raising our two children, doing everything a husband and father is supposed to do. I worked constantly. I sacrificed my own dreams, and I stayed far longer than I should have because I believed loyalty meant endurance. I truly thought we had a real family. That illusion shattered when I found out that my youngest daughter is not biologically mine. She is the child of the man my wife eventually left me for, a man who, at the time, was married to her best friend from school. What makes it even worse is that my ex-wife knew this from the moment she found out she was pregnant. She lied to me for years. My name is on the birth certificate. I was there when my daughter was born. I fed her, carried her, comforted her when she cried, watched her grow, and loved her unconditionally. Blood doesn't change that. She's my daughter in every way that matters. And I'm fighting for custody because legally and emotionally, I am her father, and I refuse to abandon her because of someone else's betrayal. When I look back now, it's obvious the affair wasn't a short mistake. It had been going on for a long time. When I finally confronted my wife and asked her the question that every betrayed spouse dreads asking, whether she was choosing him or me, she didn't hesitate for even a second. She chose him. When I asked why, she told me it was because he could immediately go for a second round after sex. That was it. That single sentence erased 20 years of marriage, children, sacrifice, and loyalty. While she was sneaking around, I was working 2 jobs to pay for her education, continuing to work myself into the ground so she could stay home, raise the kids, and live comfortably. I gave up my dream of pursuing music seriously because I believed stability mattered more than passion when you have a family. Everything I did was for her and the kids. She was always emotionally cold, distant, and volatile. She has bipolar disorder, and living with her felt like walking through a minefield. There were explosive mood swings, screaming fits, emotional abuse, and physical violence. I told myself she couldn't fully control it, and that leaving would hurt the children more than staying. Later, I found out she openly admitted to her friends that she hit me simply because she felt like it or because she didn't get her way. Our children witnessed this. They saw her hit me, scream at me, humiliate me, and I stood there taking it because I didn't want to escalate things. One incident still replays in my head. I came home after a 16-hour shift and didn't take the trash out immediately. She exploded, grabbed me by the throat, and started choking me while our son stood there watching, frozen in fear. I told her that he would remember this forever. Only then did she let go. I should have left that day. I know that now. I stayed because I didn't want my kids growing up in a broken home, and because I desperately hoped she would become the woman I fell in love with again. When everything finally came out, she showed zero remorse. She sat across from her best friend, whose husband she'd been sleeping with, and calmly said yes, it was true. And no, she wasn't sorry. Then she stood up and walked away. She moved out, took the kids, and moved in with him into an apartment nearby. Even then, I waited. I told myself she would realize the grass wasn't greener. This man had cheated on his wife multiple times, and she knew it. She even kept the keys to our apartment, and I convinced myself that meant she planned to come back. Instead, things got darker. He started showing up at the bus stop when I walked the kids to school, telling me he was saying goodbye to his daughter, not mine. I asked him where he'd been while I raised her, why she had my last name, and why my name was on her birth certificate. He almost hit me. One night, they both showed up drunk because he wanted to fight. My ex then decided to publicly flaunt their relationship on social media. Friends were horrified. Screenshots were taken. His wife found out. By that point, I had already confronted my ex with a paternity test. I fell into a deep mental spiral, replaying every moment of our marriage, wondering where I failed. She blamed me for not being present, ignoring the fact that I was working nonstop just to keep us afloat. I came home exhausted, and she screamed about garbage while the house literally fell apart under her supervision. I wanted my family back so badly that I started believing I was the villain. Everything changed when my brother pulled me into his band. Music brought me back to life. Through that, I met my current girlfriend. She's 45, calm, emotionally mature, and being with her feels like peace instead of chaos. No screaming, no fear, no walking on eggshells. My ex still had keys and would let herself into my apartment. The first time she walked in and saw my girlfriend, it exploded into a meltdown. She demanded explanations, and for the first time in my life, I told her my personal life was none of her business. That's when the obsession started. She tried to force my girlfriend to add her on Facebook, sent people to spy on her, showed up at my place when I wasn't home, pretending to check the fridge. I took the keys back, so she copied our son's keys. Eventually, my girlfriend and I moved in together, and my ex started calling the police, accusing me of stealing her belongings, yet couldn't name a single item. She interrogates the kids, throws away prizes they win with us, and recently started copying my girlfriend's appearance, haircut, clothes, and even our activities. If we go to the beach, she takes them the next week. If we cook a meal, she cooks the same thing and forces the kids to compare. My son finally told me he wants to live with us because his mother has lost control. I'm documenting everything for court. Then she crossed another line by sending me nude photos while my girlfriend sat right next to me. My girlfriend laughed, completely unbothered, which only highlighted how unstable my ex truly is. Her affair partner eventually cheated on her. They broke up, got back together, and started fighting constantly. She sent drunken messages, insulted my girlfriend, accused me of using her for housing, claimed I was homeless, and tried to rewrite history. I refused to engage. At a Halloween event where my band played, she showed up uninvited with the kids, caused a scene, tried to confront my girlfriend, and finally humiliated herself when my daughter loudly announced she had two dads. She stormed out and left our son behind. Later that night, my son called me while they were screaming at each other, blaming each other over me. The divorce still isn't finalized. This is my life now. I'm moving forward, focusing on my relationship, my music, and most importantly, protecting my children. I'm done looking back at what I lost. I'm fighting for what matters. If you made it to the end, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real stories like this. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story crazy or shocking, drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more unbelievable storytime content.